Oh, there you are, Otto. What kept you, my dear fellow? Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Gina. You sure about what you said in there? That the boss, you know, actually died the day before. It's pretty hard to swallow. Yes, I was shocked by the revelation too, Gina. As was I, possibly more shocked than both of you. It's not a competition, Mr. Sholmes. But I was more shocked than all of you put together. This is the autopsy report in question, is it? Yes, it's strange that there's no time of death noted. I suppose this is a simple explanation, or perhaps it was a deliberate omission? Oh dear, if it was deliberate, it puts me in mind of the last case we worked on, Dr. Scythe. I know, anyway. It seems that on the day before Lord Van Zieks discovered his body, Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League, so perhaps something happened with them. At least it's not like a wrong information, it's just been omitted. Come to think of it, you had trouble with those League men too, didn't you, Mr. Sholmes? You were taken in by their trick? No, naturally, I wasn't taken in, as you put it. My sleuth-hound interest was merely piqued slightly by the rare scent of a weekly £4 income. And that scent masked the underlying scent of deception, I suppose? The two criminals in question are the pair we saw being arrested yesterday, aren't they? In Mr. Sholmes' suite, I mean. That's right, Zeus, and it was me who took them in. Thanks to a tip-off by a good law-abiding citizen. Indeed, yours truly. So it's going to be that pair in the witness stand next, is it? Something doesn't quite make sense to me, though. The day before Inspector Gregson was found, you hadn't had trouble with the Red-Headed League yet, had you? Why would the inspector have been investigating them? Well, the likely explanation would be that Gregson's own sleuth-hound interest was piqued by the rare scent of a weekly £4 income? I don't think so. Don't tar him with the same brush as you, Sholmes. Yes, well, then there's the whole issue of Inspector Gregson being investigated by Lord Van Zieks for some reason. The Reaper, the Red-Headed League, Inspector Gregson, Lord Van Zieks. And Kazuma. I feel as though he knew we'd arrive at this point somehow. Gosh, I think you're right. Really? He seemed pretty shocked as well, in there. Was he really trying to achieve here today? All the answers will soon be revealed. Observe the time, my dear fellow. This recess will be over very shortly. Yes, you're right. Kazuma was determined that he should be the one to prosecute this trial, and he was determined that I should take the defense. Just what is it that he's hoping to make me see, I wonder? I get the feeling we're a long way from the end of this trial yet. Are you ready then, Mr. Sato? Yes.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the closed court hearing of Baroque Van Zieks, here present, who stands accused of murder. Now then, Prosecutor Azugi.
My lord?
Have you summoned the witnesses as requested?
Yes, the two members of the Red-Headed League who planned and carried out the deception. They arrived not long ago from the local prison by police carriage.
Very good. Milif, usher the two men into the courtroom.
These two men are currently being held by the police on suspicion of attempted extortion. You may omit your occupations, but state your names now for the court. I am Fabien de Rousseau, a descendant of the great de Rousseau family from Nice, in France. And my name is Peppino de Rossi. What is going on? I am the third son of the great Familia de Rossi, the landowners from Napoli. The two men first became acquainted at a boarding school for European nobility. Those who graduate from Temsik are the future leaders of Europe. But do you have any idea how boring it is to be born with noble blood? Alors, I make it my mission to get the better of the world by employing the little grey cells of my brain. That is all I am trying to do, eh? So, that's the only reason for this whole grand deception you've been carrying out? Oui, you could say that. Not bad, eh? Here's the grand ideas, but the petty plans. This strange combination is the charm of your hilarious brothers? Hilarious brothers? Si, capo? Listen to me, Peppino. I have two things to say to you. Eshe, are you about to tell me one of your grandi anecdotes? Evviva! I can't speak Italian. Firstly, I want you to stop calling me this capo. And secondly, we are not the hilarious brothers. This is serious business. Ciabello, there is the capo's trumper card, the furrowed brow. It is deep, eh, capo? The furrow and the meaning of your words.
The court has been led to believe that under the banner of the Red-Headed League, you have conspired to swindle money from unsuspecting members of the public. Is this true?
Oui, c'est ça.
And what exactly was the nature of this deception by which you planned to defraud?
Alors, I will explain it. No, capo, leave it to me. As you see, we both have the vivid red hair, no? At school, we were teased for this without pity. The capo here, he was many times behind the schoolhouse crying like a Trevi fountain. Where those dogs, one day the world will respect us redheads. Every night you would bury his head in his pillow and we... C'est bien, Peppino, enough. I will explain the rest. The first step was a newspaper advertisement. About 1 week before the plan was put into operation, we listed the same notice in every paper in London. Yes, we saw that notice. It was this one, I believe, entitled "To the Red-Headed League." Oui, c'est ça. I am honored that you have seen it. It states that the only condition for joining the league is having flame-colored hair, and that if you satisfy the interview panel and are admitted into the league, you could receive a weekly income of £4. On the date specified, red-headed hopefuls gathered in droves at the park specified in the advertisement, and from each person present, this pair took an application fee of 5 shillings. And with the money to France, it was a plan most elegant, no? No, it was most dishonorable. But to be frank, I'm stunned anybody was foolish enough to be taken in by such an obvious trick. The park was described by one witness as choked with red-headed folk like a Costa's orange barrow. And the day on which all these men gathered to apply was the day before the victim was discovered. Crucially, these two men spoke face-to-face with every single person present that day. Oh oui, I have seen more red-headed people in one day than I will see in the rest of my life. See, and now, every time I see the capo's hair, I feel sick to my stomach. Anyway, why have we been summoned here today? Sorry? The date for our trial was not until tomorrow, I was told. Naturally, neither of these men have been told any details about this trial. They've only been shown this photograph.
Very good. So, Mr. de Rousseau and Mr. de Rossi, you will now give your formal testimony for the court on the subject of the gentleman pictured in this photograph.
Of course, we are always ready to help with the law. We had more than 1,000 red-headed people assemble in the park on Lime Street that day. But I don't recall the man in this photograph, Capo? No, I don't remember him. Obviously, he is dead now, but I assure you, he was not in the park. Look, this victim is nothing to do with us. You have a lot to answer for, Peppino. It is your fault that we got caught in the first place. The other man seems so... Peppino, was it? Seems so chipper. You've given sworn testimony that this man in the photograph was not present. Can you be certain? Oui, I am quite certain. We did not interview this man. Nobody looking like this came to the park, this I can promise.
It must be noted that you have been arrested for a grand deception, however. Accordingly, this court has little confidence in your assurances.
With this attitude, we get nowhere, eh? He's really sulking now. This confidential document was obtained directly from Scotland Yard. It records an entry from the inspector's private diary dated the day before the incident. It reads, Lime Street, Red-Headed League, undercover. I have the answer. Maybe there was another similar event at the park on the day in question, eh? That is ridiculous. There's no question that Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League, which means it's quite possible that's when he was killed.
Very well, the defense may proceed.
Yes, my lord. Okay. I didn't see any contradictions. More than 1,000 people. You don't recall. You don't remember. You assure. Well, that is useless. But, why can you be so sure?
Hold it!
But according to what you've said, you spoke with 1,000 or more people that day. Oui, that's true. My eyes were burning with the end of the day. Surely then, you can't actually remember every single face. How are you so certain that this particular man wasn't present? Normally, the red hair is very distinctive, eh? But not when you have 1,000 redheads crowding around, then it is just an eyesore. But if there was some other information you could give us, maybe then we would recall. That is not the line, Peppino. Remember, we do not remember him, we are sure of that fact, eh? What? A line? If there was a man with a red hairpiece, but his moustache did not match the color, then I do not think I could have forgotten him. Kazuma said these two had only been shown that photograph and they'd been told nothing else at all. But what if I fed them just one other detail about the victim, for example? Huh? Okay. His fish and chips? I mean, Gregson can conceal his hair, but he cannot forgo his fish and chips, right? Wait, hold on. Fed them one other detail, yeah. I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in this situation, but what if I told you that the man was always munching on a packet of fish and chips? Do you remember a man who was eating incessantly? Not really, I was looking only at the heads of the applicants. I wouldn't have noticed the fish and chips anymore than the caviar and smoked salmon. Ora, spaghetti! Me, I love the spaghetti! Really? I had no idea. Tell them again what you said before, Peppino. Si, Gabo, si! I say it again and again! Okay. What do you want? To know that he was an inspector? Let's try something else then. He definitely changed his name, right? If he was undercover, he wouldn't say his profession is either. What the heck? And what do you mean by lying? What does that mean? Seems like you rehearsed this testimony or something. I can certainly appreciate. Yeah, okay. But what if I told you that a man's name was Gregson? The man in the photograph is a Monsieur Gregson? Yes. Names they are pouring. I did not listen to any of them. Oh. It was not a real interview, eh? It was just for a show. Why would I remember the names? That's right. This changes nothing. The man in the photograph was not there, as we have already said. I see.
Oh, James has little to be gained from pursuing this point further.
Okay, the judge doesn't want me to pursue this. Fine, let's maybe... Oh, so sorry about that. They haven't told us much about we didn't... they haven't told us much we didn't already know. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, if it was in the inspector's diary, it seems likely that he must have gone to Lime Street that day. And yet, these two both claim they didn't see him. I have to say, they don't appear to be telling lies. Well, they are experts in deception, don't forget. Sounding plausible is their specialty. They may be lying simply to avoid being implicated in this case as well. Surely if they were truly experts, they wouldn't have been caught. Well, yes, you do have a point there. It seems to me like we need more information. Definitely. On the other hand, they were caught by the great detective, so... I wanted to press on the last statement. It sounded so useless, but maybe it's something. Hold it! What do you mean by that? Cavolo, you promised not to say, I capo? After we had taken all the money that day, we should have left the country. That was my plan. I left the purchasing of the tickets to the ferry to Dankaku to my companion here. But he bought them for the wrong day. Oops. See, but there's an easy mistake. To make, eh? The 1st to 31st. Buff, I have no sympathy for you. We were an whole day late for the boat because of your stupidity, and it's only because of these that the court Great Red-Headed Detective called us. Capo, you know what I think? This is the work of God. It's a holy punishment, eh? Peppino, for the last time. This is not only punishment, this is wholly your fault. Ah! Don't blame God for your own holy mistakes. You are making me sick with anger. Maybe I make a mistake, but when it is time to eat the pasta, no one is a faster. What?
And I've seen the evidence.
Okay. You don't think they are telling lies, so we need more information to feed them about Gregson. Let me look at the photo. What else can we see? Yeah, the difference between his mustache and the hair is very stark. For them not to notice it is strange.
Hold it!
1,000 people, that's a very big crowd. It was quite a spectacle. Redheads had come from all over the capital. See, the capo here, he has the magnetismo animale, and nobody else could attract so many people. If I could be born again, I would be the capo. All those people when it was the money, Peppino, the four pounds per week.
Are you suggesting that you spoke personally with all 1,000 applicants?
Oui, that we did, because every one of them paid us 5 shillings. And we take their names, and we take their money, and we take their addresses as well. And then I tell them we take some days to let them know by a post. E finito, maybe 2 minuti per person. We start early in the morning, and we stop late in the night. So, you earned 5,000 shillings in one day? That's a small fortune. Who would have thought there were 1,000 such gullible redheads in London to start with? One of whom was a great detective with chemically altered her hair. But I don't recall the man in this photograph. Okay. Oh, we have to press on everything.
Hold it!
He doesn't look at all familiar. No, I don't think so, and this is a weak, eh? He was trying to trick us. I do not like the people who are trying to trick the other people. Including yourself? Says the con artist. Yeah. Talk about a lack of self-reflection. If between them they interviewed 1,000 people with red hair, it would be unreasonable to expect them to remember every face. No, signore. I may be small, but my memory is very large. I never forget a thing. In my opinion, I do not think this man was in the park. But he's not going to give the court a definite, it seems. Hey, Capo, you didn't see a man like this, eh? You can assure?
Hold it!
But we only have your word for that. See, but what else can we do, eh? True. Uffa, we are not having much fun these days. First, we are arrested and we are shown the horrible picture of a dead man. And now you question every single thing we say. We are the victims here. Aye, Capo? No, you were caught carrying out a plot to swindle hundreds of innocent people. You had to bring that away? That's not fair. Aye, Capo? Stop with the eye, Capo. Okay. I have nothing. Do I tell them his profession? The judge explicitly told me not to pursue this matter. Maybe I can intimidate them if they know he was an inspector. Oops, did I press on the wrong thing? Oops. Okay, this should be the one. Another information. What do you mean that's not the line? I can certainly appreciate that. I wouldn't help you remember. But what if I told you that the man in the red hairpiece was actually a detective? The man in the photograph? A detective? Yes. It would appear he found your notice in the paper suspicious and decided to investigate incognito. Sorry, but this changes nothing. Oh!
Excuse me.
Something to add, Mr. De Rossi? See, I am always adding something. Parmesan, olive oil, pepper. What I mean is, did you not agree with your friend's last remark by any chance? What did you just say about the detective? Yes, that. Keep your mouth shut, Peppino. You have said enough already. But why, Capo? What is the problem? There was a man who said, I am an inspector from Scotland Yard. What?
Good lord.
Well, that wasn't Gregson then, right? He was incognito.
Order. Explain this motive phase in your testimony, witness.
It's simple. A man... There was no such man. What did you say? Who was at the park said to us that he was an inspector. Okay. There was no such man. Madai, what are you saying, Capo? Have you forgotten, eh? I have forgotten nothing. Nobody like this came to the park. Basta, Capo, basta. You beat me at many things, but not to the memory and the meals. Like I said, when it's time to eat the pasta, no one is a fasta. But you are inferior to me in every other way, so shut up.
Objection!
I love this. Trop tard. The damage is done.
Indeed it is, sir.
Oui, there was a man who came to the park and he said he was an inspector from Scotland Yard. However, he looked nothing like the man in the photograph. He was someone else. How can you be so sure? Because, to start with, his face was completely different. See, it's true. The man who came was a younger. His face was clean shaven, his eyes were sadder, his chin was thinner.
No resemblance whatsoever then.
Anyway, I was not going to be fooled. I took the obvious precaution and said to him, if you are really a detective, show us the proof. See, the capo here. He doesn't take a no-nonsense. He doesn't take a no-nonsense, eh? But he was well prepared. He said he had identification. Identification? You mean official police inspector's identification?
That is most unconvincing.
Sorry, my lord?
Counsel, no incognito inspector would offer his identification for inspection. It's quite out of the question.
That's true. Definitely. Why would he expose his true identity? Clearly the papers were fake. Certo, capo, you are a genius. As we say in Italia, it takes a thief to recognize another, eh? And what happened after he announced that he was a detective? He became very annoying. He said, "You are under investigation." So I took his papers from him and chased him out of the park. It was fantastico! And look, here is the identification. So you stole it from the man? He had it coming. He made us very scared. But he was not who he said he was.
Indeed, the person described here does not appear to have behaved as a true inspector would. However, I believe it would be prudent for these identification papers to be entered into evidence.
But I like them. Do we know another detective? I don't think so. Metropolitan Police warrant card. Is it a fake? It looks real enough. Well, I suppose we should see what this inspector's identification looks like inside. Oh. Yes, it definitely looks fake, doesn't it? What? Looks real to me. Out of interest, what name is given? Probably is something plucked out of the air. It's Tobias Gregson. Wait, what? The Scotland Yard insignia looks genuine to me. But how? And the department and identification number details are all correct as well. Since when have you known those? Do you mean to say... I know it seems incredible, but yes. I think this is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. Oh my god, the fake detective was the killer. Maybe. But that's unbelievable. This is the real thing after all?
Now let us return to the testimony.
He was not in the park? Where do I present this? He was not in the park? You can assure that? Do we just present it on the statement here? Not really sure.
Objection!
I wonder if I could ask you to examine this identification book very closely. Miss Lestrade? Why Miss Lestrade?
What is your intention here, counsel?
Is this really fake or is it genuine? That's the question, which we can't answer ourselves.
Objection!
Don't be ridiculous. No Scotland Yard detective would allow his or her identification to be stolen. Hold it! That is the boss's. No question about it.